All right. We're good.
Okay, here we go. Episode 3, the Tank Pod. Jack and I sitting down. We were just chatting a little bit prior to the show starting. Probably not the right time of year to start a sports podcast because, Jack, there's no sports.
Yes.
So, what have you been doing?
We've got sports news.
Okay, so what? First, before we get to sports news, let's talk a little Easter news. What about the big Easter egg hunt? How did that go?
So it was snowing over in Colorado, and I've got a Los Angeles background for some reason. And we tried doing it early in the morning, and the wind was blowing like 25 miles an hour, and it was snowing. And then I was trying to dash over to an egg. Like on the very first egg, I slipped, and then I scraped my knee. But then we went back out later, and I didn't do so well. My brother found one more egg than me. He found 13 of them. I found 12. And he also found the golden egg.
So you guys ended up getting it in. It just ended up taking longer than you thought it would.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not so bad.
Because we needed the wind to die down. The snow was okay. We just need the wind to die down.
But sometime down there, you can wait all day and for the wind to die down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we had talked last about the WWE last week. Did you watch any of the follow-up matches, or have you followed much of it since WrestleMania?
Yeah. I've been watching Raw, NXT, SmackDown, and also AEW, which isn't associated with WWE, but has some of the former WWE wrestlers in it, including Chris Jericho, Matt Hardy, Dean Ambrose, people like that, yeah.
And that's the one that Jim Ross is associated with?
Yeah.
Okay, does he still do the announcing for that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, what nights is that on?
It's on Wednesday nights, but currently with all the stuff going on, Jim Ross is staying home, and the two people who are commentating, so you've got somebody I don't know, and then you've got Colt Cabana, who's also part of it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the one I'm going to have to check that a little bit too, because I heard an interview. They did an interview with Jim Ross on one of the shows I listened to the other day. I recognize him. He's been around forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And speaking of AEW, there has been the quarterfinals, I think, that happened last Wednesday for the first ever TNT champion, which featured people such as Cody Rhodes, another former WWE wrestler, Sammy Guevara, some of the big names in AEW, as well as Colt Cabana, one of the commentators. And he was facing like a 6'7" dude. He was a giant named Lance Archer, and he was actually managed by Jake Roberts, the Snake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now
Jake Roberts isn't too good of a guy because he's managing somebody like that.
That's Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We had talked yesterday or a couple days ago, and I listened to a lot of Hillbilly Jim. He hosts that show on Saturday mornings. I'm not super familiar with him, but on his Facebook page, he had tagged, or he was tagged in the 1987. I think it was called the Saturday Night Main Event or something.
Yeah.
It was
Saturday Night's Main Event. It was in a battle royal, and so he was in that match. He's actually a WWE Hall of Famer. And that battle royal in 1987, which was a preview to WrestleMania 3, when the most controversial match happened in probably the most controversial match in WWE history. And hold on, I'm thinking what was happening. So Hulk Hogan and Andre Giant were in that battle royal, but in the end, Hercules eliminated Billy Jack Haynes to win the Battle Royal.
Now, is that a customary deal? First of all, the Battle Royal, or do they call it Battle Royale? Is it the Battle Royal or the Battle Royale?
It's Battle Royal.
Okay.
In like video games, there's a Battle Royale, like Fortnite. Yeah.
Okay, so in that Battle Royal, has that always been a like structure of a match where they just put 16 or 17 or however many guys in the ring and the last one in there wins? Is that something that WWE has always followed?
Yeah. So you've got that one, which included 20 men. But starting from 1985 to 1990, I can't really remember the specific year. They have done the Royal Rumble match that I talked about in the first episode. And that's in the form of a battle royal, but more special.
Okay, so as they're leading up to that match, so you talked about then they're leading up to that WrestleMania 3, which was Hogan and Andre. Was it shocking then to see both of them get tossed so fast in that battle royal?
Oh, yeah, that was really shocking. I thought either Hulk Hogan or Andre the Giant was going to win, but in the end, it was Hercules. Also, in one of the WrestleMania matches, I'm not sure if it was WrestleMania 3 or WrestleMania 4 where the controversial match happened, this is what the WWE storyline said. Or WWF back then. There was a corrupt referee who made a bad call and helped Andre the Giant win the Battle Royal. But the title was vacated because of this one thing. According to the WWF storyline, the manager of Andre the Giant, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, he actually paid for a referee to have plastic surgery to look like the set referee for the match.
And that's the guy then that was he the one that was with Andre at the Battle Royal that was in the suit?
No, that was Bobby the Brain Heenan. He was once a manager of Andre the Giant before Andre the Giant dumped him for the $1 Million Man. And anyway, here is the real story for the controversial match.
Okay.
The corrupt referee and the real referee were twin brothers. So that was...
So the guy got in there and refed it as the brother.
Yeah. So
okay.
He was normally the referee, but he counted to 3 even though Hulk Hogan kicked out. And then after the match, the real supposed to be referee came in and then saw somebody that just looked like him.
Okay.
And I'd say it was more of a strategic move. Well.
Gotcha. Okay.
Bad strategic move, as the title was vacated by the WWF president Jack Tunney.
Now, did you rewatch it? Did you watch that the video that was on there?
Yeah. I did.
So what do you see? Because you've been to the matches live compared to '87 to today. Like, what did you see difference? Be it the ring, the crowd. Like, what were some things that stood out to you?
Many things actually stood out to me. For example, there wasn't really a entrance set or a Titantron. It was just like a little area where the people came out and went to the ring. And so also the entrance ramp was different because the entrance ramp right now is usually slanted just a little while the ramp was straight then. Also, the barricade, the one that keeps all of the people from the wrestling ring. Right now it's like covered in like a type of rubber material. And hold on.
I think the one now it's like it's just like barricade, like the little aluminum bent barricade panels is what the one was in 87. Now I noticed after Hogan because Hogan went first, Andre threw him out, and as Hogan was walking off, Andre kept calling him back. I thought Hogan was going to come back. Have they ever, because I forget, there was one of the WrestleMania matches where we saw the guy win by, he hit the guy with the bell. And so they had called the match, but the guy that won said he didn't want to win that way. Have you seen it in the Battle Royal where somebody gets tossed and then they get to go back in the ring and fight?
I've seen some Royal Rumble matches like that, and the 1992 Royal Rumble match, I think that's when it was, when Ric Flair won the world title. So Ric Flair, actually Sid, another WWE wrestler, he eliminated Hulk Hogan, and then Hulk Hogan was actually pulling on Sid's arm. And then Ric Flair came in, scooped him up, and then had him eliminated, and Ric Flair won the WWE title.
Gotcha. So then if I want to watch something to keep following this Battle Royale that we watched from 87, I need to find out, and that's either leading up to WrestleMania 3 or 4. I need to figure out which one, and then I think I'm going to watch it.
Yeah. You have a WWE Network, right? Have you subscribed to it yet?
No, but I think I'm going to have to now.
Yeah. I've watched every WrestleMania when I was little with my dad.
Okay, and you seem to have retained a lot of it too. So that's the next thing then for my homework is I'm going to get on and do the WrestleMania. There is one other sports thing I wanted to ask you about. So they're talking about how they're going to finish Major League Baseball this summer. And one of the proposals was the teams are split by who does spring training in Arizona and who does spring training in Florida. And they're thinking about making the spring training teams in Arizona one division and the teams in Florida another division. And then, I guess, or American League. So making one league in Arizona, one league in Florida, making little divisions within them there so they don't have to travel. So you'll have AL and NL teams kind of playing little series against each other. And you're just doing something like that for an 80-game season. Is that something? What do you think about that?
I haven't heard that they were gonna do the actual season for it, but I like how they're gonna do new divisions because you had normal divisions, but in spring training the divisions were different. So I can't wait to see how that's gonna shape out.
So that's a situation where, if the season's gonna be all screwed up, let's just go ahead and screw it all up. No rules. Everyone play, and let's just have some baseball.
Yeah. Also, they're having an MLB The Show 2020 little tournament thing, and it's more of a league, and one player from each team will go to play The Show 2020, and it's gonna go until I believe April 29th.
When are they starting that?
They started it on I think they started it in late March, early April, or
okay.
They started it not too long ago.
Got you. So it's just getting up and going.
Uh-huh.
So what do you think will be the first back? I think we maybe talked about this a little bit between if they do get the NBA. I don't know about hockey, baseball, soccer. What do you think? What's your guess? What's the first thing we're going to see come back?
Hold on. Well, I believe that basketball, I think they're done, or at least they've had the horse contests,
which were terrible. I watched a little bit of that. I thought that was terrible.
Oh yeah. I didn't like it either. Like some of the most known podcasters, they didn't like it. Like I watched Jim Rome, and he said that like all of the things, especially the Tamika Catchings Mike Conley match, those were all horrible. And especially the Catchings Conley match, because Tamika Catchings, she had to compete outdoors, and then Mike Conley had an indoor home gym. So
that's
Conley
not fair.
had an advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not fair at all.
Yeah, and Tamika Catchings was in Indiana with like the cold and everything like that, so it definitely wasn't fair.
No, that's not fair at all. Okay, so what else you got?
I've got some news.
Let's do it.
All right. So first, the Panthers' Christian McCaffrey has become the NFL's highest paid running back with a $64 million extension.
Now, does that make sense to you? I mean, is it with the NFL? I know you are a fantasy guru.
Yep.
How important is a running back in your fantasy teams now when you're playing? Like, where do you value a running back?
It's definitely at the highest value because last year.
Is it just him you're valuing? Like, is it McCaffrey or is it running backs in general?
Some running backs in general, but I think Christian McCaffrey will be one of the top. Will be definitely an early first rounder, as he's one of the best running backs in the league, and because he can run and receive, and he had 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving in 2019. He will definitely be good for the thing, because last year we had, for the first time ever, we had four top people. The running back, you had Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott, Alvin Kamara, and McCaffrey.
Who did the Panthers get for a quarterback? Have they signed anybody yet?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay, I was just looking right now.
Oh, wait, actually they did. They signed a Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, that's right. They did sign Bridgewater. Okay.
Who I think will actually be a good starter if they don't pick up anybody in the draft. But the draft will have to wait till next episode.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to do. So our next one, because the draft's on the 21st?
Third.
23rd. Okay, that Wednesday night. 20th, 21st, Wednesday night.
Yep.
So, yeah, that'll be the next one we do. Well, maybe. We might sneak one more in WrestleMania. And then, like, a week from today, we will do our hard draft preview one and get that in and go from there.
Okay.
Cool? Cool.
So our next set of news is that WWE has deemed their essential business in Florida and will continue their live TV broadcasts.
They deemed themselves essential like Vince did it, or how does that work?
I think they deem themselves essential, and they're going to keep doing it in Florida for the time being. At
the training center there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's going to be beginning tonight, or it's happening right now. Monday Night Raw is, and that's in Florida. And it's going to be in Florida until all this stuff clears out, and then we can have a crowd again.
Okay. Well, once we get her out and they start getting back to crowds, when we get one close to us here along the I-25 corridor, you and I are going to go watch some wrestling. We're going to go do it.
Okay. Well, a next thing is that, so 1 year later, UFC fighter Kelvin Gastelum has said that Israel Adesanya, the loss to him, it burns in his soul, and he vows to be champion.
Yeah, but they've kind of put that on hold, right? The UFC, they because Dana was going to buy an island, which is a big flex, but I don't think he ended up. I think Disney or whoever shut them down.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think UFC's shut down.
So really, all we have right now is our wrestling.
Yep. So the next thing is that the Portland Trailblazers video analyst and player development coach Zach Cooper has died unexpectedly Thursday at the age of 32. The cause of death is unknown.
Well, that's not any good.
Nope.
So then they're out.
And he's one of the top coaches on the Trailblazers. Probably like top 5.
Okay. So
and
that was coming up.
That's not too much of a great job, but he's if they didn't have him, my prediction was that the Portland Trailblazers would be lower than they would be now, because they are currently meh, but then they'd be below average if they didn't have them. And now they don't have him, but they're going to find somebody else to play with to have. And he's a good coach. I don't know his name, but I bet he's going to help the Trailblazers, and they're going to improve.
Well, that's good. If they can get the NBA back, I haven't read much on the plan for how they're going to try to get basketball going, if they get the chance to start it this summer.
Okay. Also, on the NBA side of things, the Celtics forward or guard, Jason Tatum, has said he has not touched a basketball since the NBA suspended its season.
Well, does he give a reason why?
He hasn't been able to. I'm not really sure why. Hold on, I'm going to look into this.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, I would assume if you're an NBA player or any professional athlete, you got to, you'd want to keep your hands on the piece of equipment you're using to make money.
Yeah, and he says where he lives, I'm not sure where it is, but he says the weather up there isn't great, and 5 out of 6 days it's raining, and it's still pretty cold there. And he doesn't have an indoor gym like Mike Conley does.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. Now we go to NFL. And the NFL and the Players Union have approved to have a virtual off-season workout program, which includes OTAs and training camp. And they're going to do it virtually until every team is permitted to continue back into all of them onto an outside training facility.
Gotcha. So they're just going to be online working with coaches and stuff.
Yeah. They're going to do stuff out in their backyard, maybe.
Well, I think what that does is that allows the coaches to hold the players accountable and make sure they're working out. You're going to have some guys that are doing it just to do it, to stay in shape, but it's just like everything. You're going to have the guys that aren't. And I think this gives them, with the CBA and whatnot, this gives them a way to discipline players if they don't want to work out and stay in shape.
Mm-hmm. And now more NFL. The Rams special teams has started rebuilding with finding a kicker replacement for Greg Zuerlein, as he was signed by the Cowboys. They have been searching with the CFL and the XFL, and Greg Zuerlein, ever since going to the Dallas Cowboys, he has reunited with the former Rams special team coordinator John Fassel, and the Rams were looking for someone similar to Zuerlein. which means a powerful leg and more stuff like that.
Well, 2 years ago, that'd have been a good gig because the Rams were legit moving, scoring. But last year, I don't know what happened, but they took a dramatic step backwards.
They did. And there were two, and I think there are two candidates for kicker. First off, you have hold on, I think I can pronounce this right. Harulahu.
Okay.
Lirim Halurahu, who played 6 seasons in the Canadian Football League. Also, they found former XFL kicker Austin McGuinness.
Okay.
And Harulahu has he has a really hard leg, and it's just like Greg Zuerlein's, but probably even stronger, in my opinion.
Okay.
And then you've got Austin McGuinness, who played for the Dallas Renegades, and he was perfect on field goal attempts, 10 for 10. But that was before the XFL shut down their operation.
Yeah, that happened fast too. I thought they'd at least try. Excuse me. I thought they'd shut her down and try to get fired back up. From the sound of things, they're done. Like they folded XFL for good.
Yes. All right. So the next thing is that 4-star men's basketball recruit Donovan Williams is committing to Oklahoma State. And it's adding to its top 10 2020 recruiting class.
Where's he from? Does it say?
I think he's from North Star High School, which I bet is in Texas.
Yeah, if I had to guess, that's in Texas because that's he's going to have to be from there somewhere. You're not going to get a kid from the East Coast to go to, where did you say it was? Oklahoma State?
Yeah, Oklahoma State.
Yeah, is that Stillwater?
What?
I think that's Stillwater, Oklahoma, isn't it? I think so. You're not going to get a kid to go to Stillwater from the East Coast.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
So,
well, what else you got?
How about we just end it on one more thing?
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Yep, and this one is really important. The NASCAR driver Kyle Larson was suspended after using a racial slur during an iRacing race.
Yes, now see, that's a big one in my world. I kind of watched all that unfold today. So he said the magic word that you're not supposed to say.
Yep.
And he's in kind of a weird spot because he's at the end of his contract. So he's a free agent at the end of the year. So a lot of times these teams will get these guys signed here by August and September, especially someone as high profile as him. But since he did that, McDonald's dropped him, and I can't remember the name of the other major sponsor he had. But they both terminated their deals with him. So this was something they were doing. Like you talked about the Major League Baseball guys playing the show. This was something NASCAR was trying to do to fill some content and stuff while they were down. And you had Bubba Wallace last week or 2 weeks ago, like rage quit and a sponsor drop him. And then you just had Kyle Larson with his deal last night. And it looks like it's going to cost him his job.
Yeah. And now we're going to go to one of the fun things. Lamar Jackson has a massive has a new chest tattoo that is huge.
I better
It's
look
probably because of Lamar Jackson's it's probably Lamar Jackson's large tattoo. And hold on, let me see what.
Oh yeah, if you pull it up, it's right there. Holy cow. Yeah, it says family.
Hold on. I can't really see it. I can't find it. It's going to be very awkward if he ever leaves the Ravens.
Yeah, because it's a Ravens tattoo.
Yep.
It's Ravens family.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Okay, well, let that be a lesson to you then. You be smart about the tattoo you get.
Uh-huh. And I gotta say, that is massive.
That
And
is
it's
the
pretty-
whole chest.
Uh-huh.
It's a cool tattoo.
Felicia, Truz, and Lamar.
Gotcha. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna catch up on WrestleMania 3 or 4. I'm gonna figure out what that is. We'll do another little shorty, talk about the WrestleMania and a little bit more of the news, and then a week from when this comes out, we will do our NFL draft one.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Perfect. Thanks, Jack.
You're welcome. See you
Laters.
Laters.